Hi, my name is Morgan Prawl, and this is my interactive advanced concept presentation at number 3 for general chemistry. So today I am going to be demonstrating an experiment of what happens when you mix two household items, which today I'm going to be using baking soda and vinegar, and seeing the type of reaction that occurs and kind of explaining what happens. So for this experiment, it's not necessary, but for where I am, I'm going to be using a baking tray to make sure there's not a big mess. So there is that. And then you're going to need paper towels, an empty bottle. I'm just using a 16-ounce tea bottle. You're going to need some baking soda. I have a spoon to make it a little easier to pour. And then some distilled vinegar, so I have that here. All right, so let's get started. So, first thing we're going to want to do is kind of push this aside, and I am going to just pull off one piece of this paper towel and set the rest aside in case a mess is made, and do another little piece because we don't need a bunch of it. And take the baking soda. I have half a teaspoon here, so I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 of them. Okay, it was probably about 3. I did a half one for the third and then decided that I wanted more. So then I'm going to I rinsed the bottle out so that there wasn't any tea in there. So just make sure that it's fully dry, looks like it is. So now that your baking soda, which you can't really see, you can kind of see there, is in there, I am going to kind of fold it up, and I am going to rip off the excess just so that it doesn't take up too much room in the bottle. And stick that down in there. Okay, so there is the bottle. So then the next thing that we are going to do is I actually have 2 bottles because one is almost out. So I'm going to open the second one just in case I need more. But next you are just going to pour the baking soda on top, not the baking soda, you're going to pour the vinegar on top of the baking soda and towel that is in here. And I'm going to get this second bottle right there just in case. Okay, so just going to very glad that I had that tray there. Okay, so as you can see, kind of just to the normal eye, it just looks like a bunch of bubbles are happening. It's bubbling up. It started. As it goes down, you'll kind of be able to see just how much vinegar was in there to be able to see how much it kind of spilled out. And then as it goes down, you can kind of see that. It's really only to this bottom line, yet it's still spilled over, and there's plenty on the tray to spare. So, kind of to start the explanation, by mixing baking soda and vinegar, an acid-based reaction is occurring, and that reaction happens because the baking soda is an alkaline compound and the vinegar is an acidic compound. And when the two compounds are mixed together, they react with one another. And because of this, the chemical reaction causes a buildup of carbon dioxide in, basically it like fills the environment that it's in, which in this case was the bottle, and it overflowed. Baking soda and vinegar are both considered basic. A basic substance is one that has a high pH and is able to attract and attach to the negative ion of an acid. And we know this because, baking soda, I don't know why I said both. Baking soda is a basic, because we know this because baking soda has a high pH of around 9, and we know that vinegar is an acid. The baking soda reacts, because it's a base, reacts with the vinegar, which is an acid. Baking soda has a pH of 9, around there, and the vinegar, which is acidic, has a low pH and is able to react with other substances. The vinegar, and I looked it up just because I wanted to know. Vinegar consists of acetic acid and water, and that's what vinegar is. So basically, overall, the reaction that happens is baking soda is a base and vinegar is an acid. When an acid and a base mix together and come into contact with one another, a chemical reaction occurs. The substance then breaks down into different compounds. When the vinegar and baking soda are mixed together, they react and they form carbon dioxide bubbles, which is what causes the foaming action, and the bubbles causes the bubbles that I was talking about before, and the bubbles are what rise to the top. As you can see, it's at the bottom was always fairly clear, which is where the vinegar was. It wasn't really the vinegar that was running over or the baking soda. It was more or less the bubbles that were being created by the carbon dioxide. And then at the top, they kind of burst and they're still kind of popping on the tray. I don't know if you can hear it. I can. And they pop. So yeah, that is basically what's happening, because it is an acid and base mixing. When they mix, there is an acidic reaction and they form carbon dioxide, which creates the bubbles, and they come to the top and spill over. And that is what happens when you mix baking soda and vinegar. Thank you.